What's up, dudes? How's it going? Good. So I'm back with another Black Knight Halberd speedrun video on Dark Souls Remastered. There's just a lot of things in that last video, not like it matters to anybody, but there's just so many things that I skipped looking back on, and I was like, how did I not include that part? Like, that was one of the, that's one of the most stressful moments of the speedrun. For multiple things, I was like I completely left out Sen's Fortress. I don't know how I did that. I just never thought once to record anything in Sen's Fortress. Only 5 seconds of the Iron Golem fight at the end. But, Sen's Fortress is really hard speedrunning. That definitely took me the longest to get down for any area, just because of how many different things are in it, and how easily you can die at any point. So I'm back. I'm a little bit under the weather, if you can hear it. If you can't, then I just outed myself, man. Now you guys all know I'm sick. That's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Anyways, so I didn't include this part either, the killing of this little lizard to get the Twinkling Titanite. And I also didn't include that see, that's why I'm afraid of that guy. I included that just to show why I'm afraid of him. Why doesn't he have a head? But then I included this just for funsies. I saw one at the bottom of Sen's Fortress, just to skip ahead a little. We'll get back on track. This Titanite demon didn't attack me. I've never seen this before. It was like a weird glitch where he was just totally chill with me, and he was like, yeah, man, you can get behind me. But then it's kind of funny, it wakes up or something at a certain point, and it's like, what the fuck? And then it wants to kill me. But I really thought it was just friendly. I think I included him just being like, oh! Ah! Yep, there it is. He's like, what? Where'd you come from? I guess that's why they don't have heads. And here I kill Lotric. Wait, no. Lord? What's this dude's name again? Lotrek? I don't know. I really don't remember what his name is. It might not be that at all. I think it starts with an L. Then I got the Ring of Favor and Protection, commonly referred to as Ring of Fap, but I find that kind of inappropriate. A little bit, at least. And I also didn't include me getting the Stone Armor set, which is not essential, but it makes things like the Four Kings fight and Nito easier. And you could use it for Gwyn too, but it's not essential at all. So now I'm going into Sen's Fortress, and you'll be able to see all the twists and turns and whatnot. But I was thinking earlier while I was gathering these clips, when did I start this game? And I started it my freshman year of high school. That was a long time ago now, but that was 2014, and I was watching YouTube videos about the hardest video games, and this was consistently making every list that I watched. So I was like, all right, let's see how hard this really is. Doubt it. Was super hard though. I quit playing the game. I couldn't even get past the Taurus demon for the longest time. I just stopped after that. I thought this just isn't meant for me. Excuse me. I just figured it wasn't meant for me and put it down for months. And then for some reason, and this is so weird because this is almost follows the same story everybody has with this game. Almost everybody has quit playing this game when they first start it, and then they don't touch it for months and maybe even years. But then for some reason we all go back. It's just this weird thing in the very back of your mind where you're like, I feel like I could do that. And then when you do it, actually, oh yeah, I messed up right there, just showing how not to do that. But then I think it shows how to do it after this. But yeah. Yeah, just, I don't ever attack that dude, because once he moves, you're free to run past him. But yeah, all stories kind of followed that same pattern with this game, that you picked it up to play it, quit it for a while, and then started back up again and like fell in love with it. And that's how it was for me. Like, I became super obsessed once it clicked, and I still remember the moment it clicked. It was when I was fighting Sif. I remember failing like for days. I couldn't beat him. I didn't understand how it was possible to like block and dodge his attacks. And then finally, like, it clicked, the iframes with the rolling, how like the timing of it, and then suddenly it just felt like some really beautiful dance between me and Sif once I learned the the iframe rolls. And that really changed everything for me. It was once I realized how important the rolling is in this game, and you can get really far if you just know how to roll well. Like, there's not an insane amount of skill required. It's just kind of one of those things that you hear about when you're learning to play the game, but you're just like, yeah, I have a shield. But it really is game changing, like, for real. And I didn't include this part either, and this is by far the hardest part of the speed. Okay, I said that about Sense Fortress. This is probably the second hardest part, is running along these, I don't know what you call those, scaffoldings things. Super, super hard during a speed run, because you have to keep running, and those dudes can backstab you so easily, the painting guardians. Nope, not my cat's joining me. It was my dog last time. What up? And I didn't show the lead up to this, which is probably one of the harder moments too, is just getting to this guy right here, this archer. And I didn't show any of Ornstein and Smo, which I'll show the whole thing now, but that to me is like also one of the hardest things. Like, it's not to me anymore, but whenever I first started playing the game, and back in 2014, like, Ornstein and Smo was of legendary status. Like, you could not watch any video on YouTube about hard bosses without these two dudes popping up. And it's one of the main reasons I even started playing the game, because whenever I would see that, I would be like, this has a really interesting vibe. Like, a royal and gothic and like magic. It's just so many different vibes in this game, and that's what's so cool about it. Like, you can play it really however you want, sort of, but also follow the linear path, so you kind of can't play it however you want. And then that's Ornstein and Smo. A done deal. What up? My cat's just staring at me. Like, can you pet me? Yeah, I'll pet you, buddy. I got you. Don't even worry. Here I'm coming up to the boars. That was in the last thing, so I don't really have much to say about it. Dodging that one right there is kind of hard. And then the second one, you can just run right around to its butt, which it'll show. And that works out. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this game for, because I don't really care too much to do other speedruns. There's a lot of different speedruns, by the way. Like, there's so many. And I just kind of found Black Knight Halberd speedrun from Uber Goose from like 2013. I used to watch him do a speedrun, and he was the main reason I even did a speedrun, was because, like, if you haven't seen Uber Goose do speedruns, which you probably haven't, who am I kidding? You have not seen or heard about Uber Goose. But he went to like a whole event for it, and just hearing him explain everything while doing some of like the craziest stuff in the game just like blew me away. It really did. And at the time, I was still new to the game, and to see somebody just plow through it in like an hour, I'd never thought that would have been possible. And then once I started, I realized it is. And so far, my record for beating this game is 1 hour and 14 minutes. And sub 115 was always what I wanted, because in the Uber Goose video, he was like, Nothing wrong with sub 115. There's nothing wrong with that. And so then I was like, all right, that'll be my goal then. And then once I hit it, I was kind of just like, I don't want to do anything else now. Like, I'm kind of done. That to me felt like the best it was going to get. So I just didn't care to keep doing it. Now I kind of just do the Black Knight Halberd run for fun, because I still like going through this game, but mainly just to have the clips now. I don't actually like go for time. Like, this run probably was like almost 3 hours, just because I kept stopping for a while. Like, I would just leave the game running. And I just didn't really care, but I'm not really going for time, so it doesn't matter. Here's a little bit more of Seath. Once he does that one attack that looks like he's gonna just like explode with anger, just run. That took me so long to learn for some reason. I always just wanted to stay right next to him and attack him until he was dead, but just run with that attack. You're not gonna do anything. Yep. What else is there to talk about? There's so much, but also so little, man. So little time. But so much to talk about. For some reason, you always have to take off all the armor there. At least I do, or else I'll die at that jump. No clue why. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for why you always die right there, but I don't know, man. I'm sick. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm sorry. You don't have to leave me alone. I skipped Tomb of Giants again because I can't stand running through it, and I never even think to record anything when I'm doing it just because I want to get through it as fast as possible. Tomb of Giants is ass. It is the worst. Like, and I recently just watched a video on, like, specifically, like, list of reasons why it is one of the worst, like, levels in any video game. And it's just not fair. Like, it really isn't fair at all. It's like pitch black, and all the resources you would need for light just are not convenient at all to get without like looking up some guide and going through a lot of different holes. But like, it's not something where like, oh, now that I'm in this pitch black area, the game gave me a lantern. It's like, no, you should have just found something in a completely different area to use, which isn't really fair. And a lot of people who defend the game for being fair, like pretty much no one defends that area because the developers just said fuck you at that area. And for this spot, you have to run in and do a little circle so that ghost that just hit me can walk out of the door frame. If you don't, you're going to be stuck by that ghost in the door frame, and like all of them will attack you and kill you very fast. I kicked the ladder down here because it like makes them change their direction for some reason. And then you can just stop midway down the staircase and no one will touch you. Also, I never go into that room to the right of me just because I kill Ingrid. I don't know any of the NPC names. I don't really know like too much about the lore of this game. Like, I know a decent bit, but I can't really retain it that well just because my brain is like, this is not real. You can't just hold on to all this knowledge and facts about this world that it isn't real. But I still like love the story and lore with everything. I just can't get too deep into it. And this is why you don't walk off. Yeah, I was super annoyed at that. I can't stand running through New Londo ruins, and anytime I die, like, I can't even tell you the pain. And this is just a little bonus thing. This isn't a part of this run at all, but this is Ceaseless Discharge Skip. Keep in mind, I I did souls duping, and so my levels are really boosted, so I was able to take a lot less damage than maybe if you were at this spot without doing that. Like, that was just half of my health. If you didn't have my stats, you would have just died. But there's ways that you can do it. Like, this was my first time completing it. I've only done it this one time. But yeah, you can't, like, if you had less health, there's no way you could do this like the way I'm doing it. But there's certain spots that you can stand like precisely on that don't give you any damage. And also, this is the end of the video, so goodbye.